State Police reminding you of the dangers of distracted driving. Good evening to you. I'm Jennifer Andrews. As Jasmine Bingham reports tonight, it comes during Distracted Driving Awareness Month.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says more than 3,300 people died in the U.S. from distracted driving in 2022. Driving distracted can be texting while driving, eating, taking a phone call, or even changing your radio station. Louisiana State Trooper Ryan Davis says, while it's hard to detect, you can get a ticket for driving distracted.
Drivers for driving distracted all the time. Most times we do so, we give a warning, give some education, because not only is a cell phone a distraction, but if you're eating or you're talking with your passenger, it can also be very distracting. If you're driving and you're turning and trying to reach something in the back seat, not only are you taking your attention away from the road, but once you turn and you have the steering wheel, you're causing the vehicle to veer. In the average day in Louisiana, we have a fatality crash every 9 hours.
In Louisiana alone, data from LSU shows more than 2,000 crashes involving distracted driving in 2022. I spoke with a driving instructor at West Monroe Driving Academy, Charles Crane, and he says the best way to avoid distracted driving is to focus your attention on driving, place electronic devices on drive mode, and limit the amount of passengers in your vehicle.
Devices, always turn off your electronic devices. Never use them while you're driving. We lose too many people each year in the United States to this. In fact, did you know that in the United States, if a teenager doesn't make it to the age of 24, there's like an 80% chance that it was due to a car crash.
It's not just Louisiana cracking down on distracted driving. State police in Arkansas and Mississippi are also increasing law enforcement to watch out for distracted drivers. Reporting in Monroe, I'm Jasmine Bingham, KNOE 8 News.